Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. So I'm gonna be testing out this Lavender Violets nail dipping powder system. If you guys know me, I usually try to do stuff myself. Like I don't go to the salon, I don't get anything done, but I do try to do it on myself. So I'm a big DIYer when it comes to like stuff like that. And it's kind of me saving money too. So I bought that system on Amazon, and I was actually testing out like the nail tip when I was showing you. I wanted to see what shape I wanted, but I did change it, and I think I'm gonna do coffin. So I'm gonna jump right in, and I started by fouling the top, like the shiny layer off my nail. I didn't do any I pushed my cuticles back off camera, but I'm taking off the shine with a file because I try to do my left hand with the machine, but of course I'm right-handed, so I couldn't really do it. It was a little awkward for me, so I just decided to do it with the file instead, and that worked. I mean, it took a little longer than expected, but it got the job done. And I forgot to mention, I used this file with like a round top because the roundness, it's easier to get inside the near the cuticle. So all I did was like push it up and down like near the cuticle, and it got right in there nice and perfect. So next, I already sized up my tips. Some of them were a little bit bigger, like slightly, so I just fouled off the sides. But I used crazy glue because my nail glue was not working, and crazy glue is pretty much the same as nail glue. It smells the same, it like sticks on the same. But I just fouled like the edges because some of them were a little bit too big, and then the other ones were a little bit too small. These tips I had for years, but I'm pretty sure you could find some tips online for really cheap. But I just continued to put them on with the crazy glue. I just put a little dot of the crazy glue, and I kind of tested out the crazy glue like before to see if it did come off, and that actually came off very easy with acetone. You know, acetone melts everything off, so it pretty much melted the nail off and the glue. So if you have to take it off, I would suggest using acetone. But other than that, it went on perfect. I did order glue, it just didn't come yet, so that did the job for now. But I just glued everything on, and then I think I cut it afterwards. So this is how it looks with all the tips on. I don't know how people do it with like long nails like this, but I just pushed my skin back because it was a little sticky in the bottom, and I took this nail clipper that I've had for a very long time as well. I cut all my nails. I just eyeballed it. I didn't really like line them up, and then I took the file and I filed the sides because I wanted a coffin shape. But I wish you guys could see it better. I mean, the camera, this is like as good as it gets with the angle. I don't know how that nail techs do it, like from above, I guess. I don't know. But I did the best I can. But I just fouled the sides. And you want to keep track of how many times you're fouling the sides, because if you foul too much on one side, it's going to look crooked. So like if you foul on the side, like keep track. I kind of like number it or like go by the rhythm. Like 1, 2, 3, and then go to the other side, 1, 2, 3. That way both sides could be exactly the same. But again, this is my first time, so it wasn't perfect, but I got it as good as I thought. I tried to do it with like a nail clipper, but my nail clipper wasn't big enough to like chop off the sides, so I have to buy some nail clippers and like little mini scissors. But I just did it with the file. Again, it took more time doing it like that, but it got the job done. So after I filed everything, I took the drill, and that's when I sanded the nail tip onto like the natural nail, so it could look a little bit more flushed, and it could blend a little bit better. Since I am doing dip, it's not like I could really shape the powder, except just add on, and I didn't want to do that, so I shaved it as much as I could, so it could look as smooth as possible. All right, so I applied the hydrator from Amazon. It's from the brand Model One. I didn't have primer, so hopefully this works out. So the nail system, I started with the base and I applied it where the stress area of your nail is, which is the tip, where the tip attaches to your nail bed, and then I dipped it in the powder. That way it could give it a little bit more strength there. And I did that on all the nails first. I like dipped it, and then I, tapped off the powder. I did that on all the nails first, and then I went back and brushed off like the excess powder that was just hanging there. I didn't really want to brush it off as soon as it came out the dip, because I wanted to make sure it was like really stuck on there and dry. I didn't want the brush to like poke in it or anything like that, because I used like a little makeup brush. I didn't really have like a big fluffy brush, so but it still worked out. So I did that on all the nails, and I just applied like a thin layer of that base, and it worked pretty good. It wasn't too thick and it wasn't too thin either. So I went in with the kind of like a second layer or first layer, I don't know what layer this would be, with the base. And the base, you don't want to go all the way up. You want to go 2/3 of the nail, I think. So like not, I don't know, like right past that that stress area. So I did that on all the nails, and I did the same process. This is basically all the same thing about 2 or 3 times that you're doing the same process. So you're applying the base nice and thin, dipping it, tapping it off, and then brushing off the excess. So I did that on all the nails, and I did the layers. I think I did 3 layers. So this layer I'm doing is with the clear layer. So I did the first layer with the like the stress area with the clear. The second layer I did with the clear as well. And then after I did all these 5 fingers, I went in with the pink powder. And I did the same thing. I just went up and up. So I did 3 layers, as a matter of fact. So after this clear layer, I did 2 more layers of the pink, getting closer to the cuticle. So for the pink, I pretty much did the same exact process. So with the clear, I just did the middle, so that way I could like reinforce the tip with the nail. But now I'm going up a little bit on the whole nail with that same pink. I kind of like the more natural, kind of like pink acrylic look. So I'm doing this on the whole nail, and this is basically the same process again. So basically I'm putting it on like 2/3 of the nail, and then going back and then going up the second time, and then the last time going closer to the cuticle. So far I do like the dip powder, but for some reason it's so messy. And I noticed with this pink color, it left more like powder on the actual nail, like it's stuck more for some reason. So I had to like brush it off. Like the other one, the clear one, it kind of like tapped off easier than the pink. But I don't know if it was just me or what, but Other than that, it is like a good idea, but I don't think it's a good idea for people who want longer nails, because I did notice after like it doesn't really give you like an apex, so it kind of looks flat, so that can look a little weird to some people. But other than that, it was like an easier process. So now that I have all the layers that I want on, I dusted everything off, and then I had to apply the activator. And the activator goes on right after you're done dusting everything off, before you file everything. Like the activator is to make the acrylic more hard. Even though it feels hard, you still need it, because it kind of like pretty much like dries it up and like makes it set. So I put on some of that, and then I waited like about 2 minutes. All right, so now I started filing my nails like the shape that I wanted. It was pretty easy. I did notice like with this, it was like way easier to file and like to shape it up. So I did the shape, I filed the sides first, and I did like my version of coffin, because I'm not good at it yet. But I did the best I can. So after that, after I got the shape I wanted, I filed the top of the nails, because it's still like a little bit lumpy and it's not as smooth. So this way, instead of using the drill, for me it was a little easier because I am right-handed, and plus I didn't have like the drill bits to like make it smooth. But this actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I really thought it was going to take me longer, but it didn't really take me that long. I just filed it until the surface looked smooth and not like too rough, and I wasn't worried about it being too smooth, since I am going back on there with gel, so it doesn't really have to be that smooth. But other than that, it came out pretty good, and it didn't really take as long. So after I filed it off, I did give it like a little buff just to smoothen out just a tad bit, because it was a little bit too rough. And I just buffed it with this like normal buff. I think it's like a medium grit. And I just buffed it and wiped off all the dust. And then I went in with gel polish. I didn't record the gel polish. It's just normal, regular gel polish. And that was pretty much it. So this is how they look without the polish. I think they came out super cute, even though I'm not really used to the long nails. But this is how they look with the polish on. I think they came out so cute. But the apex and stuff, it was a little bit like flat, as you can see like from the side. But it wasn't too bad. I mean, hopefully they hold off, you know, they don't break or anything. But that's how they look from the side and the front. And that's the other hand. And I think my right hand for some reason was a little bit better, but I did my cuticles too, so that's why they look a little bit red. They weren't hurting or anything, but this side, the apex does look a little bit more better. But other than that, I really like the dip powder. I thought it was going to be more harder than what it was, but it came out so cute. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the next one.